everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing the 8th update for my Pan Those Eyeshadow Palettes project. This is a hybrid project between Pan Those Eyeshadows and Pan That Palette, and I have those creators linked down below along with the playlist for this whole project. So if you haven't been following along, I would recommend going ahead and getting caught up, but the gist of this project is just I'm working through 3 palettes at a time to try to either completely empty them or hit pan on certain shades as I try to kind of work through the eyeshadows in my collection. I do keep a quintet of shades each month, and so I will go ahead and put up last month's quintet right now. And we'll get into the progress that we have from this month. So the first shade in my quintet is from my Lorac Pro Matte palette, the shade Corduroy, and I will show you what the palette was looking like last month. And here is what it's looking like this month. So a couple things you will notice. I did finally finish up Chocolate this last month, which was very exciting. I had been using it in my brows and I finally got it completely used up. I did lose a little bit of product there at the end because it just got really crumbly and it just kind of went away, but I did get to use the whole of it up, which is very exciting. And on Corduroy, I had a goal of hitting side pan on it, and I did get that done as well. So I was very excited to see that. I'm actually really enjoying using it. The formulation has changed in this palette for a while now. It's pretty old. So, you know, I'm just kind of trying to get through them. I obviously still have almost all of Burgundy left, which we will be focusing on later. But currently I'm working to get Corduroy completely used up, and I think it'll probably take me another 2 months. I have been using it pretty diligently and it has been getting some good usage on it. I'm gonna try to get like a whole other half used up this next month, which is a little bit ambitious, I think, but I've been really enjoying using it. I've been doing a lot of like more matte eye looks like this, and I really like how that's looking. So my major goal is to get that one used up this month. It's kind of like I'm putting that sort of at the forefront of all of these. I really want to get this emptied by the end of the year, and I really think I can. So I'm focusing on Corduroy so that I can get on to Burgundy. So I think that Corduroy is going to take me a little while to get through, but I am thinking that maybe 2 more months. Maybe I can get it done in 2 more months. So we'll see how that goes. As far as usage goes, I did use this 30 times this last month, which was a total of 53 uses within the project since I rolled it into my quintet. So I use it almost every day. I tried using it in my brows a couple of times. It's a little light for that. Doesn't really work very well, but I do like it as an outer corner for the lower lash line. I like it all over the lid. I've done that a couple of times. I think I'll probably try to do that a little bit more regularly to get some more usage. And yeah, all in all, it's always been one of my favorite shades in this palette, and I'm really glad that I'm getting some really good use on it. My next palette is my Lorac Pro 2 palette, and I will show you what this was looking like last month. And here is what it's looking like this month. Now I have 3 shades in this palette that I'm working on at the moment, one of which is in my single form. So I have, well actually, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the single shadow first. You can see in the picture there kind of what it's looking like, and it is pulling away from the pan, so I'm not gonna show you too much what it's looking like right now. I'm not gonna like tip it over in the pan, but you can get a pretty good idea of what it's looking like. I haven't used this a ton. Honestly, I haven't used it as much as I would like to have because it's not a shade that I've been comfortable wearing every single day, but that's not really something that I'm worried about. It is a Franken shadow. I made it as a combination of cool gray, charcoal, chrome, and silver from the palette. And I do like how it looks. I've worn it several times and I think it does look pretty decent on the eye, but it's just not my favorite go-to shade. So it's been a little harder for me to keep that at the forefront. I'm not sure that I'm gonna be able to use it up this year because it's a lot of product in one shadow. But I did use it 6 times this last month for a total of 10 uses in the project. Obviously you can't see too big of a change with just that little bit of progress, but I don't know, I'm just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna use it as much as I can, and at the end of the year, we'll just kind of take stock and see how we're feeling. I have been getting really tired of this palette, to be perfectly honest, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm a little bit done with it. But I want to try to use it as much as possible. So currently my plan is to keep using it through the end of the year and then kind of reevaluate if I want to keep it, if I don't finish it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about my progress within the palette. So Plum is the next shade in my quintet, and I did use this. I had like a goal of using all these shades here, these 5 shades, 5 different times in the last month, and I got very close. I almost did that with all of them, but I did use Plum 5 times, and I am mainly using it as a liner right now, and I do really like using it that way. It's just not something I use every single day. So I feel like you can see some good movement, some surprising movement for the fact that I've just been using it as a liner. So that's really encouraging to me. I'm glad to see that just a little bit of usage will actually help me move through it. I don't know that I'm actually going to be able to finish it up just because it's not something I enjoy using all the time, and 5 uses for the next 3 to 4 months is not going to get this completely used up. But we'll see. Maybe I'll try pushing myself a little bit harder. This next month, I'm just planning to stick with the 5 usage goal, because it makes it a lot easier for me to say, you know what, just use it one more time. You're a little closer to the 5. 5 is not that hard to make work. Color is not my thing. I'm much more into the neutrals, but I do want to challenge myself occasionally to get usage on these colors, even if I never finish them, just because I did purchase it. So I may as well give it my best shot. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Plum. As far as navy goes, it's very, very much in the same boat. I use it as a liner pretty much exclusively. I have tried it a couple of different ways. And I like blues on myself, but I just don't enjoy wearing them as much as I do neutrals. I don't know. I'm kind of boring with my eyeshadow looks. I just really feel comfortable in neutrals, and it makes me feel really good about myself. I think blues and colors look good. I just don't like it as much. It's I don't know, it's just something about it just doesn't excite me. So I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to use it because I do have it. It's in my quintet. I did use it 5 times last month. I did roll it in last month, so it's just a total of 5 times, which I don't think I told you. Plum, using it 5 times this last month put me at 12 uses total since I rolled it in. So some decent progress on that. But yeah, with navy, I'm gonna stick with the 5 usage goal. I'm not too concerned about rushing through it or trying to make myself use it. I wanna stick with 5 uses each month, get some use on it. It makes me think I'm probably not gonna roll another shade in from this palette for the rest of the year, because the thing is, these 3 shades are not shades that I can wear every day. They're not shades I look forward to using every day. They're not shades I want to force myself to use every day. So I'm just trying to get 5 uses out of each of them each month. And as far as the palette goes, this is kind of where I'm at with it now. I used Mocha 8 times last month. I used Jade 3 times last month. I used Cocoa 5 times last month. And I did use Black one time. First time dipping into it in the project. I did have Pan, but since then I stopped using it, and so now I finally have 1 use on it. But my thoughts going forward. My original goal with this palette was to completely empty it up. My new goal is to finish Mocha and to get as far as I can with the rest of it before the end of the year. At which point, I will then reevaluate and determine, you know, if I really want to push myself to completely finish the palette or just toss it, because it is 5 years old at the end of the year, and these are my least favorite shades in the palette. So there's really no reason, when I have 8 other palettes waiting for me, to force myself through this. And I feel like I should just move on to the other palettes that I've been wanting to work on. So I'm planning to use this through the end of the year. I really want to finish Mocha because obviously I used it 8 times last month, and you can see it's moving along pretty well. I feel like that one, if I focus in, I can probably get this one done probably in about 2 months. So I think that I'm gonna kind of tell myself, get this one done, and then the rest of it, we'll get where we get. For my final palette, it is my Marc Jacobs Glambition palette, and this one I am currently focusing on hitting pan on a shade rather than emptying them right now, though my ultimate goal is to empty this palette. Just as a reminder, I did declutter the black shade out of this palette, so I will go ahead and show you what it was looking like last month. And here is what it is looking like this month. So the shades in this, I always call them the wrong thing, so I'm gonna try my best to call them the right thing. So Seeking, this middle shade, yes, Seeking, was in the quintet this last month, and I did hit my goal and hit pan. I didn't anticipate that. I didn't think I would, because these are pretty, I've been calling them hard pressed, but I don't think that's true because they are a bit dusty. They're just deeper than you anticipate. So like with this one, it took me, I think, at least 60 or 70 uses to hit pan on it, as did this one and this one, I'm guessing. I don't have like total usages on all of these, but I know this one took me over 50 times to hit pan on. I think it was closer to 60 or 70, and these ones I had used a ton prior to hitting pan on them in this project. So yeah, I know that they take a good while to hit pan on. However, you can see I've made some really fast progress on these, for the fact that at the start of this project, this one was the only one with pan. Now I have 4 with pan. That's pretty crazy to me. So let's just go ahead and talk about Seeking first, since it was in the quintet. There really wasn't much of a dip in Seeking at the beginning of this project when I rolled it in. So again, I wasn't really expecting to hit pan on it as quickly as I did. However, I was using it in tandem with Infamous. Yeah, Infamous. And I found that I really like the blend of them. Actually, that's what I have in my crease today. So I really like the way they blend together. This one on its own is a little too gray undertoned, but this one warms it up just enough. So the pair of them is really great for me. I did use this one every single time I did my makeup this month. So I got 32 uses out of it this last month, but I had been using it prior along with Infamous when Infamous was in my quintet. So I had a total of 53 uses on it, but I hit pan on it on the 49th use. So yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a tiny little pinprick, but as you can see, I would imagine you can see pretty well, these 2 shades, which I didn't have pan on at the beginning, the pan has been expanding rapidly, in my opinion. Like, I feel as though if I continue to use these at the rate that I am, there's a good chance honestly, there's a good chance both of them will be done by the end of the year, which is exciting because I do want to empty this palette out as it expires at the end of the year. But this one, since it's a newer one and I really do enjoy it, I wanted to not let it expire. I wanted to go ahead and get as much use on it as I can. So yeah, I think that I'll be able to empty those 2 out. I have a lot of usage on them already, and I really enjoy using them, so I think I can get them emptied out. As far as Known For goes, I don't know about that one, just because the shimmers in here are harder to use, as they're just, you don't need as much of them. But there's a chance, maybe I'll be able to get it done. But as my goal in Seeking has been met, I did hit pan, I will now be rolling another shade in this palette. So I'm gonna go ahead, I think that's, I mean, I feel like I blew through all of those updates, but I think that's everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all these shades on my hand, and yeah, and then roll in a shade from this palette. All right, so here is September's quintet. We have the same 4 shades from the Lorac palettes: Corduroy, my Shadow, Plum, and Navy. And then you'll notice that I went ahead and I just swatched the shade from the Glambition palette that I'm gonna be rolling in. I chose not to randomly roll in because it's just between these 2 shades, and Corduroy and this shade here, which is Over the Top, they're too similar. I didn't want to roll both of them in and have to compete with shades. I will just save that one for now, and I'm gonna focus on this one here, which is the Most. That is the name of it. It's called the Most. So that's the one that we're gonna be working on next. I'm gonna be trying to hit pan on that guy. Again, the shimmers in here, you don't really need a whole lot of them. You can see they're pretty vibrant of colors, and you don't really need a ton to get payoff with them. So I think it'll take a little bit longer to use them up. Plus, I find that they look better with a finger like application rather than a brush application. So that in and of itself makes it harder to use up. So yeah, I think that one will take me, it might take me 2 months to hit pan on it, because also I'm not using it every day. And like I said, I'm focusing on Corduroy right now, and I enjoy it more as a all over kind of shade. So I enjoy more matte looks with it. So I'm thinking that this one, I'm gonna not worry too much about making my way through this super fast or anything like that. So this might stick around for a while. I think it'll be the first month that I wouldn't change a shade if I don't meet my goals on any of these. Which I'm thinking that I probably won't. I don't think I'm gonna hit pan on this one. I would be surprised. I will be really surprised if I hit pan on this one. And then with the rest of them, I don't really see any means of me finishing them. So unless I just decide, you know what, I'm done, I'm gonna declutter one of these shades, I don't see myself rolling any of these shades out next month. However, I do think I'll have some really good progress on all of them. And hopefully this one will be about, well, honestly, hopefully it'll be almost done. And I'll have like another half of it out, or another third of it out, because I think that's kind of where I'm at now, is I've gotten about 1/3 of it done, and I think I have about 1/3 left to go. About 2/3. So yeah, I think that's about all I've got for you guys today with this update. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you have any recommendations with this look, with this quintet. I did have someone recommend using these two shades together, which I hadn't thought about doing, and I think I want to do that, so I might do that soon. Of course, as always, I've got pictures of my looks at the end of this video, so yeah, I will probably try that and take some pictures of it. Hopefully it'll turn out well. Yeah, so this last month's looks will be following, as well as the whole updates on all of the palettes and everything, all their progress throughout the year. So I'll have those on the end of this video, and until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Thank you.